Yo, chaps, I'm making. Welcome back to Legendary Adventures. My name is Eli, aka that big sauce gamer tag.
And I'm Becky, aka Small Fry.
Squad, we come out to you from the beautiful Christmas farm? Well, anyways, doesn't matter where we're at. Or the reason we're out here is because Mega Abomasnow is finally coming to Pokemon Go, which means we got to go ahead and get ready. Now, any trainer that is familiar with Abomasnow or the Mega knows that Abomasnow is 2 times weak to fire.
Yes.
So this means you're going to need to go ahead and get a fire squad, a hot squad, to go ahead and keep it going. But before we dive into the raid counter guide, let's go ahead and give us a subscribe, the smash like button, and of course hit that bell for the notification bell to be notified of all the raid counter guides that we go ahead and provide you with. But let's dive into it, babe.
Alright, so the perfect IV for what you're looking for is 1349 non-weather boosted, and then weather boosted by snowy weather, you're looking at 1687 combat power.
Now, do know since Abomasnow is already available in shiny form, you can go ahead and get a shiny from the raids in the wild. Now,
that's dope.
That's gonna be super dope.
Gonna be dope.
Now, do note that we're gonna go ahead and have we're gonna share what the list is of the top 10. We might even go a little bit over, and here's the reason why. As you guys and gals all know, some of the Pokemon that get listed for these raid counter guides nowadays makes it really tough to go ahead and have them in the list. We're talking about
Megas, we're talking about Shadows, we're talking about expensive Pokemon.
So we're gonna go ahead and give you, the ones that go ahead and save you, the quiche, if you will, for you new trainers, and of course for the, vintage trainers, the legacy trainers. Then of course some of these should be much easier for you to go ahead and work with.
So coming in at number 1 is Mega Charizard Y with Fire Spin and Blast Burn.
Now, hopefully you've been saving up your candies to go ahead and definitely optimize on this. And of course, if you go ahead and create a raid party or send it out, if everyone's running already a fire squad, they're going to go ahead and get that 20% increase for the damage as well.
And then coming in at number 2 is Shadow Entei with Fire Fang and Overheat, double fire moves as well. And that one is a Shadow type Pokemon. I mean, if you haven't unlocked it during a Team Rocket event, it's going to be impossible to have right now, actually.
Yeah, just because you got to have frustration off of it itself. But if you have it, it is one to definitely work into it. And of course, you're going to get that bonus.
Coming in at number 3 is Mega Charizard X with Fire Spin and Blast Burn. Again, another Mega. So
you can walk either one will look amazing in regards to it, and of course you'll get that boost. Best tip in itself is that if you already know someone's walking in with it, first have them fire out their first Mega, and then of course you go in with yours on the second one once theirs faints out, so you can keep that bonus going. So
the next counter is one of my favorite legendary birds, which happens to be Moltres.
Oh yeah, she loves her Moltres.
But not just regular Moltres, it's Shadow Moltres with Fire Spin and Overheat.
Ooh, that's expensive.
And if you don't have that one, the next counter you might have, because he has been in the raids a lot recently, is Mega Houndhood with Fire Fang and Flamethrower. Okay, so that's a definite one to have. And again, all these will give you that fire boost that you need to go ahead and utilize. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it already. Okay, the next one is not a Mega, so that one should be a little bit more easier to obtain.
Well, that's if you actually played this summer and if you were able to raid for Reshiram. Reshiram using the fire attacks of Fire Fang and Overheat are the ones you want to utilize, and it should hold its own against Abomasnow.
And then coming in at number 7 is Shadow Charizard with Fire Spin and Blast Burn. And moving on to the next one is Shadow Magmatara with Fire Spin and Fire Punch.
I shake my head because, again, if you don't go ahead and tee that frustration off, it makes it tough to have that move. But luckily with a Shadow Charizard, you can go ahead and unlock that extra move for next to nothing. So the next one happens to be Shadow Arcanine. And Shadow Arcanine is amazing. But again, it gets capped. It gets capped behind that.
It's so expensive. That one you're going to want it with Fire Fang and Flamethrower.
Coming in at number 10 though is none other than Darmanitan, the fire version. The little fiery guy that happens to actually be in December's Breakthroughs, yeah.
So Fire Fang and Overheat. And then yes, one of my favorites, which is cute little Litwick that evolves into Chandelure.
Oh, yeah, that makes
sense.
With
Incinerate and Overheat.
And the next one coming in is none other than Moltres. Again, with Fire Spin
and Overheat.
But again, that it's expensive. It's expensive to power it up. So hopefully, if you're saved up your Stardust, you're using it for this, for these type of Pokemon to go ahead and build up upon.
And the next one, which is way more accessible, is Blaziken with Fire Spin and Blast Burn, which I've seen a lot of Torchics being rewarded through the PvP system. So if you haven't been doing your battles, go ahead and do that, because there's a lot of Torchics coming out in the rewards.
And then moving from there is Shadow Houndhood?
Yeah.
Shadow Houndhood. I don't know, fam. Like again, I have to share the shadows with you, but you know, utilizing the both moves of Fire Fang and Flamethrower. But again, you got to TM frustration off. Okay. Well, let's talk about something that's actually more.
Well, actually, it's not really that much more accessible.
It's not. The next one isn't.
We're talking about that legendary beast dog.
Entei.
Yeah, with Fire Fang and Overheat.
Expensive, like just utterly expensive. I mean, I'm just thinking of all the Stardust and the candies that you gotta like
power it up.
Yeah.
Actually, this next one is more accessible, which is Heatran. He has been in the raids 2 times already with Fire Spin and Flamethrower.
For my heavy raiders, this makes it an easy one to go ahead and have.
It's easier, especially if you caught the weather boosted one. It's already up there. You just gotta power it up a little bit more.
For my new trainers, that may not be as easy to go ahead and utilize, but maybe a Flareon, which is the next one. Flareon coming in with Fire Spin and Overheat is a perfect one to go ahead and utilize. It doesn't cost as much candies, and everyone can go ahead and usually find themselves with an EV or 2, and you can do the name trick to go obtain at least the first Flareon to go ahead and build your squad. Moving into number 18,
which is Type Illusion, which is way more accessible than Shadows.
Oh yeah, well, I still see a lot of Cynicals actually being generated
out in the wild.
So yeah, so it makes it totally accessible. Coming in at number 19, none other than Infernape
with a Fire Spin and Blast Burn.
And then of course the beloved
number 20, the last counter we're gonna say is Charizard with Fire Spin and Blast Burn. So fam, this is a very difficult counter guide that we just gave you guys. These are Pokemon to work towards, because you know that these are Pokemon that are worth it to power up for the next time that Mega Abomasnow makes it to the raids, or any other
fire type, like any other ones that you want to boost up for fire type. But the takeaway from this is that this is where the starters come into play. If you have the starters, invest the starters to go ahead and get them the moves. They're easier to power up, and because you should have more of them than the other ones, and if you're able to, you know, with the whole entire distance trading right now being opened up a little bit further, you're able to go ahead and make them into luckies, and that's where you're going to be able to go ahead and really make yourself a nice raiding team.
Yes, and if you're ever lost, you can also add and then put fire, and then it'll pop up all your fire types, see what legendaries are in there, see what kind of moves you can make with Flamethrower and Fire Spin.
All right, squad. Well, with that said, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, smash the notification bell, and we'll catch you in the next legendary adventures. No, seriously, like
right there.
Like
yeah.
watch
right
the
there.
next episode. Like seriously.